Very good morning, class. Today, in the third chapter of first flight, we are going to discuss the second portion. In the first portion, we discussed about the bird who were trying to fly and how he struggles with that and how he had succeed in flying above the above the sea, and what was the situations, what were the obstacles came across him. So that was the first portion. Now we have a second portion. Let's start that. This is the second part of this chapter. Chapter 3, first flight. And here it's FF. Got it? Got it. Chapter 3, first flight, the black aeroplane. Let's discuss some meanings, and after that we'll discuss with some chapter portion. As chapter contains this much meaning also, if you came across some of the important meanings or hard words, we'll discuss here on the blackboard. Let's get started with this chapter. Number third, first flight, and the portion is black aeroplane. See, from this chapter you got the title of the book. That's first flight. Got it? The start. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. See, the moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. Here comes introduction, first phase of the chapter. This guy is flying a plane that's Dakota, old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. From France to England. This guy is in the sky. It's late night, and it seems that the sky is clear. There's no cloud, and the entire country is sleeping. So that's his presence in this ocean. I should, yes, also this guy is having, is going to have a vacation. So he was thinking about the vacation that he and his family will have the, better quality time with each other. So he was thinking of that during flying. I should call Paris controls. I could, as I looked down past the nose of the airplane, I saw the light of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control Dakota TS488 here. Can you hear me? I'm on way to England. Over. See, there is a proper word is there, like radio, and in a call center, in your aeroplane, in this flight, in this, these departments have their own, content of conversation, a way, or you can say a code process. For example, here it says that Paris control Dakota TS088 here. Can you hear me? I am on way to England. Over. So on walkie-talkie, and he mentioned his name of the flight, and he says that I am on way to England. Over. The voice on the radio answered me immediately, DS488, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now, DS488 over. And the person who was sitting in the control room, he replied that I can hear you, but you have to turn 12 degrees west now. 12 degrees west now. DS488 over. Got it? So this was the initial conversation between two persons. A person in the flight, a person in the control room. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. I'll be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast, everything was going well, it was an easy flight. So here this person, as the person replies that you have to turn 12 degrees west. So he, in a flight, if someone says to you that you are at this moment you are not allowed to land, you have to switch your direction. You have to turn something at a particular degree, in particular direction. So the pilot has to check his fuel tank, his engine, and almost basic technicalities you have to check. Because suppose if the fuel is not too much to flew for the remaining times, or for the further 5 to 10, 15 minutes, otherwise for half hour, if the fuel is not sufficient, then we have to make a call. So here the control room said that you have to take a 12 degree turn in the west. So he checked his fuel tank and the basic things in engines, and then he done the 12, and then he was on the way of thinking only that in the morning I'll have a big English breakfast, and everything was going well. The flight was also going well. Still now the situation is not too much complicated, as it's very simple. But we know that a simple story is not a story. A simple story is like a statement. But if you want a surprise element in our story, then we have this book. Got it. Yes, Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds, storm clouds. They were huge, they looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. I knew I could not fully fly up over them. I did not have enough fuel to fly around them in the north. Okay? Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the cloud. Yes, now when it turns 12 degrees, so the cloud, it was storm cloud, and he was unable to flew above that or flew up of the cloud. But he has to fly from that portion and but the situation arises here because he did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. Means to see, I told you that he has to check the fuel. At first he checked, then he realized that if there is a cloud, then I do not have enough sufficient fuel to fly above that portion. Okay, as suppose it's like going from a long road or in a shortcut, like flying like this is okay, but flying like taking an elevation and then flying is quite difficult if there is a lack of sufficient fuel. So are you getting the point? So this was the reason behind this. Here the situation arises and we have a surprise element. I told you that a simple story is not a story. Here the situation arises. Now we'll discuss what happens after. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. It did not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. See. Now he faces a disaster situation. When he gets in the cloud, the situation becomes worse. And first at the plane, it was old Dakota. So it was shaking like this, and with the help because of thunder and storm, it was not behaving properly. The plane was not behaving properly. So and all the instruments were become dead. First of all, compass dead. Okay, the compass was not working properly. So he was trying, but at last he just made a call. He just used radio because that was the only thing that was working at that time. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. Here it was like a very frightening situation for him. So at that time it was like Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Then in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. See, now here we have another element. In the cloud, in the cloud, radio become dead, compass was dead, and all the necessary instruments that we used to get a direction was dead. Important thing were dead. But the plane was still flying. And in the cloud, suddenly a second plane appears from nowhere. This guy observed that someone is there in the plane as the light system is not operating very well. But there was a guy in the plane and he was waving at him. This para says that there was a guy in the plane, he was a pilot, not a guy, so there was a pilot in the plane. He was also looking towards this, hero, and he waved at him. Now, he followed me, he was saying, follow me. He knows that I am lost, but I was trying to help him. This guy, pilot, says that follow me, I'll help you. And here our hero says that yes, I am totally lost because I don't know where the hell I was. Because I had no radio, no instruments, nothing, no source to contact in the control room and no source to contact with anyone. And there will be chances that I'll have to face the near to death experience. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in the front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. It was very happy to go behind strange aeroplane like an obedient child. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Now there was only enough fuel in old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. I was starting to feel frightened again. But then it started to go down further through the storm. See, now the situations are getting most. Then here our hero's plane, old Dakota, has not enough fuel to fly. It was just for 5 to 10 minutes. But here this, one kind of a messenger of God, or you can say a helper. I think he's directly from God. I don't know, but I'm just assuming. And this plane, this a pilot says that I'll help you, just follow me. So he headed towards the north, and this plane, our hero, was following him like a obedient child. But then he observed that he realized that he is out of the fuel, he's out of fuel, and he has only sufficient fuel to fly for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm quoting this word 10 minutes, only 10 minutes he can fly. It's like, going from fourth floor to first floor and coming back from first floor to the fourth floor. Suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of light in front of me. It was a runway and an airport. It was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black airplane. The sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black airplane was gone. I could not see anything. See, this plane is now it's a different kind of situation. When suddenly when he came, from after clearing all the cloud, he came in a clear sky, and then he sees two tower. There is control room. There is an runway. Means there is an airport, and he landed. He was on the way to land safely. Okay. Then he suddenly, he looked in the sky and he was searching of the plane that was helping him, but there was no one. There was not a plane. So this, the situation like, okay, there was a plane in the cloud, but when the sky is clear, where is the plane? So it was a shocking moment for him. And there was nothing there. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. Okay, he don't know that something strange happened in the sky. So when he landed, he directly go to control room and directly there contacted the supervisor senior that where is that pilot? And that I want to help him. I want to thank him because he helped me in the sky for safely landing. And she looked at me strangely and then laughed. Other airplane up there in the storm, no other airplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see in the radar. So who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks? Who was the pilot of the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? Are you getting the point? There was no plane. It's like a horror movie. In the cloud, something was there. Looks like an aeroplane. A person was in there. He was a pilot who was waving hand at him, and he said that follow me. Follow me. I'll lead you and I'll make you to safe land in the airport. But the airplane was out of light and there was a black. So our hero tells that plane is a black airplane. But here the lady says that you were the only in the sky. Your plane old Dakota was the single airplane in the sky in the cloud. There was no other plane and not a single something flying in the sky. You were the only one. And then the question arises in the mind of the pilot. Yes. Who helped me? Who was he? From where he came? And where did he gone? And if the radar says there was no aeroplane, so how I came across that plane and how? There was lots of question and no answer of that. So yes, I have also question. Okay, how the chapters comes it's too short. Got it? Here we completed this chapter, the black aeroplane. As the title says, the black aeroplane, and we have still questions. Okay, where is the black aeroplane? Call CID, they'll help us, or ATA, they'll help us definitely. So here in this session, we can do across a very interesting chapter, the black aeroplane. See, the ending of this aeroplane should be like that. More if you want to make story more interesting, so it would like that. In this range means suppose let's continue the story by our means only. Means let's start a story joining this portion, but the story should be ours. Suppose when this our hero met that lady and he asked that who was the pilot, I want to thank him. The lady said there was no aeroplane, you were the only one in the radar. And suddenly this concept, this answer frightened him, and he came back at home and he was thinking a lot and a lot. Then he searched that suppose someone was there in the radar. Then he checked that how many chances of there that radar may get wrong. The answer was 0% chances. Radar is never get wrong. And so he searched about the airport of that area, and he came across an accident. He came across an accident that happened before 10 years. In that storm, in that sky only, in near 5 kilometers, there was a plane, and he crashed at night above that airport. So that plane was, he when he clicked the image, it was blurring. It was blurring. No, that's buffering. It was buffering, and he was checking the photo. And when suddenly he tried that, the photo disappeared suddenly, and he was, like, what happened? I was checking the photo, and then the photo is gone. But the story was there that on 21st of Jan at midnight, a plane was playing name particular thing like New Jersey 666 was crashed in the midnight, and approx 200 people were died, and many more injuries were there, and the pilot was, finally pilot was dead also, and that plane is called as a black aeroplane. So this situation was like, oh my god, that he was a ghost or something, and then he again tried to click the photo, but then it was buffering, but he is not able to see that photo. See, here there should be the ending of the story. Here photo was not visible and the story was same. It was in the cloud only. It was in the, that the pilot waved at him. But the situation, it was get shocked, and this guy also shocked that he was a ghost or he was a messenger of God who helped me, that the way he crashed, I should know. The story should be ended like this, yeah. I am a good writer than this guy. Who's this? Yes, Frederick Forsyth. I am a good writer than him. I can write it very well. So here this story gets so interesting when we added our portion in this chapter. We can also extend it for 5 to 7 days, that make it a web series. We should make it a web series like the Black Aeroplane, and the here beginning starts from this guy who is from Paris way on the way to England. So here, as it was very interesting story and meanings. That's it. Just a sec. So in the meanwhile, we came across. Yes. Now let's summarize the entire chapter. Two stories about flying. First was his first flight, and second was Black Aeroplane. So his first flight was the story of a bird was trying to fly in the sky and fly in the sky. That's it. You don't want to clear the board. So you just want to fly the sky, and the situation was lots of problem. He was facing lots of problem with flying, and his parents were also forcing him. The parents also were trying that he one day should fly. And the story here is the first flight. How this bird, overcome his fear, and how he cleared obstacles and many more things. He has his brother and sister who is flying like a pro. He has mother and father who is helping him and guiding him and also protecting him from hunters and prey. So this was the situation. A day also came that he had no food for a day, for approximately 1 to 2 days, and he was very hungry. And so second day he tried that his mother should help him to feed him. So he shrieked to his mother that please bring me some food. And his mother thought this is the exact point and exactly I want this situation, because I'll bring some food but I'll make him to fly. So she did as she wanted, and she tried and he flew very well. It was a good gesture and by his mom, and the situation and the story was also good and simple. And the second story, our favorite story, the black aeroplane. Black aeroplane, guy from the sky, in the aeroplane, in the cloud. There was situation was all good at first. He was flying. When he get near the landed, it was a storm of cloud. No, when he get landed, he was on the way to land. Suddenly there was a call on the radio that turn 12 degree then. So the 12 degree was quite dangerous for him. Was being quite dangerous for him. And after that, a black aeroplane came, and the story very well. So here, English FF, 2 chapters, black aeroplane, and the portion is over. I hope this chapter you got it. We'll meet in the next lecture. Goodbye.